We are live here on the American Sim Network watching Kyle Chadwick, and he saves it for the Support the Troop Truck Series. I'm Matt Egan, joined by the phenomenal Mr. Jeff Wood. How you doing tonight, Jeff?
All right. Last minute entries, and I'm glad because we're still gonna have a short field entering our first race of the chase here at ISM International Raceway or Phoenix International Raceway, whichever way you want to call it. On iRacing still though, we have not done the different track configuration. Start finish line is still where it used to be.
Yeah, well, they have rebranded in real life back to Phoenix International Raceway, just as an interesting point of note.
Yeah, and well, let's go over those drivers. Now, I was talking with a couple of drivers, and we're still a little bit confused on how the points will work. Maybe Ron will chime in and let us know officially. From my understanding, it was supposed to work more like NASCAR, where everyone in the top 12 is reset into the same thing. Everyone got bonus points for their wins, and we're on to the round of 12. But these are the drivers that are in those top 12. Mitch Reeves, Justin Michael, two phenomenal guys that had great seasons so far on Thursday. Brandon Murray, Kyle Chadwick, Brian Abbott, Trent Drum, Jeff Merck, Brandon Thornhill, Jack Watts, Judd Danielson, Jeremy Crandall, and Travis Browder. A couple guys, the 76 and the 83, actually dropped from the points race.
Yeah, kind of interesting to see those drivers kind of drop out of the points, but I mean, hey, you know, they've got their reasoning for it, and it'll still be an interesting championship with the drivers we have. Justin Michael, of course, top of the speed charts right now as we get ready to go racing here in the desert evening.
Yeah, it is that evening. We see the sun trying to poke its nose right out of these setting clouds. May come into the factor as you get on the front straightaway out of what we'll call turn 4. The dog leg is not open. So if you're seeing the cones when they go through the dog leg, they cannot go below those cones, which is unfortunate. I kind of like the open dog leg where the technical start-finish line is now in the real world outside of the sim.
Yeah, I can kind of see the reasoning for it, though. You don't want drivers diving too far deep down and then coming back up into traffic, potentially causing issues, as that can happen. So to an extent, I can kind of say, and they can use a little bit of the dog leg. They can still go under that yellow line, not too deep, but they can still fit a truck in there.
No, that is true. I just view the what we'll call turn 3 into turn 4 and the dog leg probably the best opportunities to pass. What we'll see here as turn 1 and 2 tonight, that's more of a technical turn where you gotta line up your truck and accelerate off the corner. There is going to be maybe a little bit of a problem for these guys getting off of turn 4. The truck is still wanting to turn loose on exit as they start to accelerate. We may have a caution tonight with that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the caution flags fly in the setting sun. We heard drivers earlier complaining about sun off of turn number 4, so we'll ride on board here with Kyle Chadwick. Actually, we're going to ride on board with Mitchell Reeves as he comes off of turn number 4, and you can see that sun is becoming less of an issue as the sun sets. So by the time we go green here in about a minute, I don't think it's going to be an issue for them, luckily.
Now, checkered flag has been put down for qualifying. I don't imagine we'll see anyone top Ken Richardson's time. It's going to be fun to see the 16 who isn't in the chase. This is probably one of his better tracks.
Yeah, it'll definitely be an interesting one to see play out. Tony Romack in the field, a little bit further back. Brandon Murray still on a hot lap, although he just got fouled up there with truck down on the bottom of the dogleg. Thornhill finishing up his one lap here. And he won't have time to finish up his one lap, unfortunately. So we'll get ready to go green in just a moment here as they get ready to grid up. 85 laps, the advertised distance here tonight. Mitchell Reeves, of course, sitting towards the front of the field. Not surprised by that, but I'll let you get through the starting lineup here, Jeff, if you want.
Yeah, here we go. Ken Richardson, fastest during practice, fastest during qualifying. 27.421 for that pole position. Justin Michael second, Mitchell Reeves third, Kyle Chadwick fourth, Zach McSwain fifth, Judd Danielson sixth, Jeff Merck eighth, Jack Watts ninth, Tony Romack. Excuse me, I skipped over Brandon Murray there. Brandon Murray's 10th, Tony Romack 11th, Brian Abbott 12th, Brandon Thornhill 13th. He's the last guy to qualify. Trent Drum 15th, Kerry Cleaver 16th, and Chris Voiles 17th, rounding out our short field on our first playoff night. I think some of the drivers were confused. There was a poll put up on Facebook. It's all about that Sunday race as we come up on Super Bowl weekend, what they're going to try and do. We'll have to get the admins out there to let us know how that's going to evolve. James Lehman, Justin Michael in the chat. Haven't seen James Lehman. Hope he's back on the track this side of iRacing. At least I'm sure he's been down doing some dirt style stuff in Georgia lately.
As we get ready to roll off here, it'll be an interesting race. First playoff race. You see the lights coming on here at Phoenix International Speedway. Of course, lap 43 here tonight. We will be silent during in honor of John Andretti, NASCAR driver who unfortunately passed away earlier today after a battle with cancer. Iconic name in motorsports, the entire Andretti family. And John was a great driver in pretty much every, every aspect of racing he put himself in.
Yep. I don't have the King's signature on a 43, but I do have a die cast with Mr. Andretti on it. So got to meet him when I was a kid. We'll be silent on that lap 43. Coming to the green, though, here tonight.
Race car down. Here we go for chase race number 1. It is going to be Ken Richardson bringing him to the green, down and away.
Great not much start. Time to heat up those tires, though. We'll have to see how we get out of turn number 2 into the dog leg. 16 and 87 going to battle early.
Yeah, pretty good start for the field, though. They go side by side now into 3 and 4. It looks like Justin Michael might have the lead potentially for a moment. Not going to have it, though. As he comes off of 4, it is Ken Richardson, but Michael powers by him. Justin Michael leads lap number 1 of the evening. Can Ken Richardson clear him? They are still side by side. Mitchell Reeves waiting in the wings in P number 3. Kyle Chadwick now looking for a pass. Chadwick gets the door shut on him. It is still Justin Michael out front.
16 loose.
And Michael makes the pass.
Yeah, that 16 got loose through the top leg. Probably almost came up on the 87. Wiggled it through. Gonna fall back in the line, though. Ken Richardson has a fast truck here tonight. Randy Arms working on his teammate Zach Swain back there. Chadwick holding down 4th. Looks like Mitchell Reeves, like you said, just holding on. And Swain going to lose another spot. Looks like Jeff Merck.
Yeah, we were talking about Zach McSwain at the start of the show here tonight. Well, really not the start of the show, I should say, before the show here tonight, Jeff, we were talking about, he always seems to do well, but he always has bad luck towards the end of the race. And my angle is I always see him in the top 5. I always see him finish in the top 5. I always kind of see him finish around second. You think tonight we see him finally break that curse?
It's possible anywhere. Zach McSwain being the darling child of, second place finishes of late. The 091 going to come up probably full time soon. I think if he had a good run of races going into whatever season we do next, that he could be a contender, at least looking at every night inside the top 10. If he could rack those up consistently, make every race, he'll be in a chase.
Yeah, I definitely think he's going to be a chase contender next season, no doubt about it. But I'm hoping maybe he'll get his first win before the end of this season. I'd love to see him manage to go to victory lane. He's just got a lot of speed in that truck. Always seems to know what to do, but just never seems to be able to put it together at the end, whatever the reason. Randy Arms peeks to the inside of Kyle Chadwick, thinks twice about it, though, as they go down the backstretch.
Big technical aspect of this track. There's a lot of speed over this 1 mile course. We got this 1 mile, a lot of short tracks coming up. Milwaukee next week, second round of the round of 12. determining who goes to the top 8. Top 8 first race, I believe, is at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Got a lot of races ahead of us. These guys got to get through tonight. Right now, Justin Michael going to hunt for that win. If you can reel off a couple great races, point speaking wise, compared to your drivers behind you, you can just about wrap up a good solid top 4 finish into the final race.
Yeah, and right now your top 10 is rounded out by Brian Abbott. He is under fire from Brandon Murray, though, that number 2 machine. You look at Murray, he's got a little bit of decent speed in that truck. Where do you think he's going to wind up here tonight?
He's probably, taking it easy. I haven't seen Brandon Murray on Phoenix. Brian Abbott, a late call in here tonight. Like I mentioned, these drivers probably just figuring out there's a race or at least getting home. It is a Thursday evening, winding up here in the south to the 500, so a lot of traveling going on the roadways.
I tell you what, that Third Rock Racing truck, though, for Brian Abbott is doing a great job in that top 10 position, being a late entry and not having a lot of practice here at the racetrack in its current state.
No, we're going to gain grip. The more laps we put down, more time we have on the track. Not seeing a lot of people skidding off of turn 4. A lot of people taking it easy, smoothing their way through. I think Brian Abbott would be a top 8 truck, top 6 truck, maybe even if he had some practice time. He's looking really good. We'll have to check in and see where that 82 finishes.
Browder's looking pretty decent too. Of course, he ran it way too wide there in 3 and 4. It just looks like he dug it in. Well, he tried to get in too deep, and then the truck just said, no, I'm not turning. But he was looking to the back end of Brandon Murray the last few laps, and he had his nose under Murray about, 2 or so laps ago. So I think Browder's got some good speed in that 18 Cessna machine as well.
Yeah, Browder just going to be making the chase. Like I mentioned, a couple guys dropped out. The 83-76 allowed a couple other guys like Browder, who finished 13th in points exiting last week at Daytona. I believe also Jeremy Crandall, one of those guys, getting in with one of those drops too.
Well, 12 laps down of this 85-lap race, it is still Justin Michael leading this race. Look at Mitchell Reeves trying to make a, as you said, big move there. Dived it deep on Kyle Chadwick, and it didn't work. He might even lose the spot to Randy Arms.
Zach is going to be a double team here coming. It did not work, you're right, and he lost a lot of speed. He's going to have to regain some momentum. Chadwick is leaving a ton of room open up under the bottom through turns 1 and 2. Controls the dog leg. We'll have to see how he gets through 3 and 4 here. Mitch is just seeing daylight on that corner entry, maybe sticking it too hard.
Yeah, well, I think Mitch is in that mentality of, I've lost one spot, I can't lose another, and he's just kind of overdriving it, trying to compensate for that truck and trying to just keep, not losing positions, but in doing so, he unfortunately is still losing the spots just because he's trying to drive it too hard.
No, he's probably number 1 competitor out there at the moment is that 87, and he does not want to lose too many points to Justin Michael. Right now he's, 4 or 5 points behind him.
Well, according to the chase standings, it says he's the points leader by 1 point.
That's just due to those bonus points entering here tonight. He's going to get passed again. 091 and Zach McSwain. Teammate Jeff Burks lining up. Mitch has lost something on that truck.
Yeah, he might have overdriven the tires.
That is a possibility, or he's just leaning back and looking for a long run. Maybe he thought it was going to be a short run, and those tires went away.
Well, I think looking for a long run, I don't think you'd want to fall that far back. You know what I mean?
Oh, no. We do have pit stops here tonight. Obviously, I think they'll have to pit at least once with this many laps. Not that 85 is too much at a 1-mile track, but I don't know. These guys will at least have 1 green flag pit stop if needed.
Yeah, I'm watching Reeves, and look at how he's entering the corner. He's entering higher, and the way he's going through it, he's just going a little pushing. It looks like that truck's pushing. It looks like it's tightened up on him. Just watch how he drives it compared to Merck.
Yeah, he's rolling the corner. I'm not sure. Is he downshifting through 3 and 4?
Nah, you're not. I'm not seeing any of the backfire from it, so I don't think he is. I'm not.
These trucks are real tricky at 1 mile tracks, and the way iRacing has them geared, sometimes it allows them on these short tracks to downshift and obviously accelerate off the corners with an upshift.
He actually might be. I saw a little bit of the flames coming out in 1 and 2, and I think I might have saw him peak in 3 and 4. So he actually might be trying to downshift, and that might be where he's losing time if he's experimenting with that. You can see just a little bit of the flames going there through 1 and 2, and that's kind of an indicator sometimes on these trucks whether or not you're shifting, as that's when they like to spit fire.
Yep, we'll definitely see it next week at Milwaukee. I can guarantee you that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm excited for that track. I love Milwaukee. One of my favorite tracks to broadcast. Yeah, notice I didn't say race at.
No, it's going to be fun. A 1 mile track this week, obviously different configurations. Milwaukee closer to a roundish paperclip style, and Phoenix is more ovalish like Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's for sure. Randy Arms looking to the back end of Kyle Chadwick. This will be for the top 3. It is Chevy versus Toyota. My bet's going to be on that Toyota Randy Arms. Chadwick's fast, don't get me wrong, but, I've always liked the way Randy races. I like the way he's just kind of got a long-run speed to his racing style. Dived it in way deep there, a little bit aggressive on that corner entry for Randy Arms. Not going to happen, though, for him.
I hope the 88 realizes that he's a non-points contender. Obviously, that's more separation from the 87 than what he would like, but I think you obviously got to notice who's on that points ladder and who you don't want to be tangling with.
Well,
I just hate him to tangle with someone that it's not that it didn't matter, but it didn't matter points wise.
Well, he's not in the running for a championship, but his position matters points wise. He gets more points if he finishes 3rd than he gets for finishing 4th. You got to remember too. And caution flag. And it is I thought it was Murray. It is Travis Browder. And he's got a lot of damage on the nose of that truck. Let's see what happened.
There goes that motor.
And it was going off the dog leg? Oh, to the dog leg.
Yeah, he corrected downward. Looked like he was loose off of 2 exit. Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Because when you shift these trucks, did he shift down for the dog leg? Because when you shift down these trucks, it gives you that big boost of RPM. And it'll cause the back end to step out. It looks like he shifted down. Because watch how the back end steps out.
Oh yeah, that really does.
We're gonna ride in car with him here and kind of try and see what happens. Keep an eye on his tachometer there. And we'll be able to tell if he, in fact, tried to shift that truck going into the dogleg. No, he didn't. I don't know what happened. He didn't shift it.
Well, in doubt, as they go ahead and pit right now, as soon as they get done, I think we need to bring up someone to talk to and see if they're actually shifting here.
Yeah, definitely a good idea there. As they go through their pit stops, it is going to be, Justin Michael. Who else gets out and away first? Ken Richardson. He's having a horrible pit stop. Man, from 2nd to 10th.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up Zach McSwain here, Matt.
That's a good idea.
What the 091 has to say.
I was going to say, I wouldn't bring up Ken Richardson. He probably has some not too nice things to say about that pit stop.
All right, 091, Zach McSwain. Quick interview here before we get back to that green flag racing. First question, at least out here looking, are we shifting these trucks?
I'm not. I'm not sure if the other guys are not. I'm just saying it for.
Oh, well, I mean, we're seeing a lot of tailpipe action as these trucks enter. Pace car lights are out. Moving up some spots here real quick. Let me know what you got going on.
Hey, we're just going to take our time here and try to get us a good finish.
All right, Zach. Good luck there.
Hey, thank you.
right, as they get ready to go racing here, I'll let you get the green. Justin Michael, well, he'll bring it to us, and it looks like McSwain's got a little bit of damage on his right rear spoiler. I don't know if you see that there, Jeff.
Might be restart damage. Not really. Yeah, I guess it's a little bit bowed there towards the center. A lot of guys like to start on the high side here. However, with restarts, it's on the leader's discretion after the pace car drops. There goes Justin Michael. Quick drop to the green. Now the box shows green. Here we go. Jeff Merck may have a little bit of an advantage. Kyle Chad jumps to the inside.
Yeah, pretty great start there by Justin Michael. They are side by side. Might be 3 wide for a moment. Merck gets up to 3rd place. How about that for good old Jeff Merck?
Yep, he's been here at Phoenix before. I think he trailed Ken Richardson to 2nd place here a couple seasons ago. So Merck knows how to get around when he needs to. A little bit of scrub back there between 1685 and 82. Side by side, still with 1609.
Yeah, right now it is side by side for position, and it'll be Zach McSwain taking 3rd place. How about that for Zach McSwain? Good run off the corner, and I was about to say I'm surprised to see that high line work, but then I remember our pass for the lead out at the initial start was off the top line of the racetrack.
Yep, 091 of that 3rd spot following Randy Arms. Randy Arms probably, maybe he didn't know if he was going to make this week or not, or whatever reason he dropped out of the Truck Series points. Right now, not looking good.
Oh, we got Ken Richardson.
Loose off of 4.
As if to add insult to injury, not only did he have a bad pit stop, falls back, going to lose even more spots. He's definitely going to have some damage to that left front of that racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, he's not out here points-wise, so he's just trying to run the best race possible. 16 can rebound. It's not too aerodynamic at this track. Obviously, you get a few tenths or hundreds here and there. But I think he can recover. He has the number 1 pit box. He can take full advantage of a 2-tire stop at some point.
Yeah, right now it'll be Tony Romack in front of him, Trent Drum behind him. I gotta say, I love Trent Drum's paint schemes, love the Wix air filter machine. Secondly, you know, he's had some good runs, he's had some bad runs, but he always seems to be right there around midfield, you know?
Trent has really become a darling of what I would like to call the Gilmore style of racing. Jeff Gilmore in that 57 machine normally. You'll find him probably on Saturday, and I know for sure on Sunday running for a championship. But, you know, 12 just consistent. May not be the fastest guy out there. May not even be the guy that finishes top 10 every night. But he's sure going to finish 11th, and he's sure going to finish a race.
Well, you know, Gilmore managed to win the Truck Summer Championship, or what I think it was the Truck, right? Summer Championship.
I think it was the Truck or the Cup, whichever one.
It might have been the Cup. It might be the Cup I'm thinking, but I know he won one of them. You know, running with that strategy, so it might be good for Trent Drum come next season.
Yeah, he's just got to, obviously, Trent Drum or any other driver has to figure their style of racing versus everyone else. Sometimes you can't beat Justin Michael or Mitch Reeves every week. You just got to go for the best possible finish, and that's how Trent Drum officially got into the points here. He raced his way in on Thursday and Sunday, I think. So congrats to him and putting himself in the best possible spot.
Yeah, right now it is a set battle for 3rd place, and it is going to be Jeffrey Merck takes that position. The ASN camo machine, good looking truck, by the way, painted by John Hendrick of Over the Top Designs. Best paint schemes on iRacing are found at Over the Top Designs. And he did a great job on that one, I gotta say.
Yep, John paints over there. I know Kevin paints over there. A lot of painters over there, so go check them out on Facebook. They just rebranded. We're not saying Over the Top Paints and Designs, Over the Top Designs, just like their motorsports team.
Yep, a little bit of a cleaner name, if you will.
Yep, so yeah, always go check them out on Facebook. Best way to get hooked up. Probably a little bit of a fee nowadays from John's side of things, as his time is all-consuming. But
well worth
just
it.
Yeah, well worth it. If you want a clean scheme out there, John, hands down, one of the best painters I've ever had work with. And I've been around a lot of guys that paint their own cars, a lot of guys that go to other painters, and I really like how John does his stuff. Maybe biased opinion, but so what.
Yeah, a lot of the trucks in the field painted by John. Mitch Reeves' machine, I believe, is as well. Being on Over the Top Motorsports, that number 2 machine. I love the paint scheme on that number 2 machine. I really gotta say, I love that hood logo especially.
Yeah, Mitch's classic green and black that he's been racing for whatever team for many of years, but now with racegear.com on the hood, and Racegear's been part of Loose Lugnuts sponsorship lineup for a long time. Good news you can find on short track racing, NASCAR racing, that type of stuff. If you want to go read some articles, racegear.com.
Great racing all around here at Phoenix International, and Brandon Thornhill a little bit ways back. Brandon Murray now battling with Ken Richardson. Richardson dives to bottom. Like I said, I mentioned when you mentioned the dog leg, they got most of it coned off, but you see Richardson still able to use the one lane they had and really use it to his advantage, I might add.
Yep. Obviously, if that wasn't coned off, I think our guys would be diving to the wall.
Yeah.
Like we see in NASCAR.
And
which could cause some problems.
Yeah, I feel like we get more wrecks if that would happen.
We're not professionals here in any way. A lot of our guys, I think, could use a professional sponsorship. We heard about that Abruzzi announcement with Stuart Haas, Esports. Some of our guys, Justin Michael, he's a fast guy. Wes Holland in past, and you could have mentioned. Mitch Reeves is right on the cusp of being the fastest guy every night. Randy Arms is a consistent racer. There's a ton of guys in Loose Lugnuts. A lot of competition.
Now you touch on the Abruzzi thing. Tell the viewers here, and maybe not watch on Sunday night, but tell them about that. Abruzzi, of course, being a sponsor of Loose Lugnuts Racing League, as well.
Our Sunday Cup Series sponsor, Abruzzi, Judd Danielson, lining up with Stuart Haas Racing, Esports Division. Going to supply some, nice clothing, gloves, boots. You can go check them out at RacerRacewearUSA.com or .co.uk. You can still get to the portal section of the Americas, Canada, to get that product. Basically, the gloves and stuff are there for karting or taking care of your equipment. But lining up with Stuart Haas, those drivers, they're going to bring in a second driver who's an actual guy that works on their Xfinity team, and Dylan Duvall, a big name there, coming on for Stuart Haas.
Yeah, that's pretty good setup for them. Pretty good, pretty cool to see that happening in the world of esports.
And that's what it's all about. Some of these guys actually put in quite a bit of time, and even the guy they're bringing in is an iRacer guy, but he obviously had to work on his iRating, get up to that type of status to be selected. So now, he didn't cheese his way in. He did the work.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now, one thing I want to touch on with the race, you mentioned the dogleg being close, and I'm really surprised we're not seeing more drivers do this. You can run down on the apron in turn 3 and 4, and depending on how you do it, it actually does help you, and I'm surprised we haven't seen a lot more drivers run down towards the wall in 3 and 4.
Well, tire model. In the past, the trucks I've run tire model-wise, you could either get up towards the wall, or you could put all 4 down below the yellow, off into the front straightaway, obviously arcing yourself towards pit road more than the front straightaway through the corner. It's just the tire model right now. We're fighting a tire model that is probably the best it's ever been, realistic-wise, but I find the tire model what we would call loose, because we're obviously used to iRacing tire models that allow you to put probably a tidbit too much gas on exit.
Yeah, and they're a little bit tighter than what you would expect in real life.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point too. We'll see on Sunday, because I know in the Cup cars they really benefited from that before this new tire model, of course. They used to really like it when you did that.
Yeah, seeing James Lehman there on YouTube saying he's got another deployment coming up. Well, stay safe, brother. I'm going to be closer to your area come September myself. Hope to see the number 2 guy. Well, I think Justin Michael is actually probably number 2 wins all time now, but James Lehman was at least number 2 win all times in Loose Lugnuts history.
Yeah, he's a great driver in this league. Hope to see him come back to the league when he does return to iRacing in October, or when he says around October.
Sim graphic there, rooting on the 85. Up to 9th is Judd Danielson. How about that, Matt?
Yeah, great run for Judd Danielson there. He's having a good night, 9th place, and he's working on Brandon Thornhill for, well, that'll be 8th. So, you know, Judd's always top 10, top 5 truck, depending on the night. So I'm glad to see him having a good run. We were just talking about him with the Abruzzi sponsorship.
Yeah, obviously we support the troops over here on Thursday. Not an official sponsorship, but Thursday's been what we call our, how do you put it? Something that we like to take care of. Last few seasons have been PAD, support the troops. Something that we can draw attention to for a subject, and it was the troops this season.
Kind of a non-profit series, if you would.
Yeah.
Raising awareness to a good cause, a charity, whatever the organization of choice.
It was great. We remember Memorial, I believe it was Memorial Week, or Veterans Day.
Yeah, we had all the beautiful patriotic cars. And that, yeah, that was around Memorial Day.
So, Mark on pit road.
Or no, that was Veterans Day. That was Veterans Day. My bad.
I get them all mixed up. 60 going down pit lane. I'm going to stay with him, Matt, to see what's going on.
And I'm watching Judd here try and get by Brandon Thornhill. Thornhill closes the door on him. Was that a scheduled pit stop from Merck, or?
I'm seeing right sides have gone on, left side's up, so he's 4 tires stopped. If this is the last stop of the night, he's obviously short pitting versus the rest of his competitors.
Yeah, might not be a bad idea.
Ooh, blocked Ken Richardson. And that's the bad thing. You cannot come out of that pit road and go to the bottom. You have to stay at the bottom of the
Thornhill down.
Thornhill down. So
definitely scheduled pit stops.
Yeah. I mean, they're scheduled, but what's the key we always talk about? Run the truck as far as it can go. Obviously, you got to watch. Battle for the lead going.
Yeah, side by side here. The question is, does the battle finish before the pit stops finish? And with green flag pit stops, we might see our first lead change of the night. We have not seen a different leader all night. Of course, aside from our pole sitter.
I think everyone on the field is rooting for the 83 at the moment, Matt. Non-points guy wins chase race number 1, puts the 87 out of first place. That's the key. Pits for the leaders. McSwain keeps going, as does Chadwick, Abbott, and Reeves. So final stops, I would assume, Matt, at least final of the night.
Very good. Yeah, I would definitely think so. Now the big question, do you think we get a caution here on this pit cycle? That would be something.
It always happens to us here at Lugnuts, right? I hope the drivers, I haven't heard anyone come back to me, hey, why are you always calling me out for not practicing pit stops? Well, a lot of our guys don't on the night. Obviously, they've done it in the past, and they assume race to race will be the same, but each pit road, depending on the number of vehicles pitting at the same time, angle, speed, tires, and tire wear, could, interrupt what could be a great race at the moment of pitting and offer a totally different line.
Yeah, it looks like McSwain down. That'll give Mitchell Reeves the race lead, 56 out of 85 laps complete here tonight.
Yeah, I don't think you want to be the last guy on the speedway, and Mitch and Judd are probably the last 2, and that's unfortunate.
Well, Chadwick hasn't. Well, Chadwick's in. McSwain is in. Trent Drum, Judd, and Reeves all have not pitted.
You don't want to be the last guy. Mitch is probably going, well, my truck's gone away from me. I need to stay out just in case.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. See, they're probably betting on a caution.
No, that's probably good for the O2. That put nearly, well, not nearly, more than half the field a lap or so more down.
And right now here, we have 58 laps in. Mitchell Reeves still out. Judd and Trent still haven't pitted. Yeah, they're probably betting it all on a caution.
Well, I think he probably could go to close to 70 maybe. That's guesstimating, obviously, but he's probably hoping that the 60 and the 091 there are off on their tires, and those two are battling out, looking at the 02 all around the track, as is Justin Michael and Randy Arms, who are still nose to tail, which is our provisional 1-2 coming up, depending on when the 02 pits. 02 looking at that
he's
pit
down.
road.
And Judd, I'm assuming, gonna join him. Yep. And Trent Drum not close enough to pit lane, but I'd imagine he's not gonna be the lone man out.
I would hope not. You never want to be last to pit, and Trent Drum is.
And he stays out. He's betting a caution. He's got to be. Caution would be brilliant for him.
Yeah, Trent. We talked about Trent not being the fastest. Playing. Oh, Judd rolled his pit box in a little bit too much. 2 backups for the 85.
Ah, man. Well, that's
going to cost them 5 seconds. I think Mitch only took 2 in gas. Looking for a time difference change with the 02. Not sure what the 87, 83 took. Technical 11, probably closer to 9 seconds time between 12 and the rest of the field.
Yeah, right now 61 out of 85 laps complete. We're closing in on the end of the race, and Trent Drum, having not yet pitted, is currently the race leader. It will cycle back to Jeff Merck once Drum has completed. How about that? Justin Michael won't be the race leader. That is the first time this evening.
Yeah, Randy Arms is putting a lot of pressure on the 87, which opens up the door for the 60 and 091 to battle it out. And they're losing time battling each other. I don't know. These fresher tires, if you pitted after the 87 and 83 or the 60 and the 091, I don't know, maybe Mitch Reeves had something left in the book with a 2-tire stop.
The only benefit to Trent Drum is going to be like you touched on. He's going to have the best tires.
Yeah, and well, he's got to use them, and probably use them faster than he's used to. 091 with the pass on the 60, 87, 83 now lining up Jeff Merck there.
Yep.
Zach Trent Drum has to pit. I'm not going to say he doesn't.
I don't know how he hasn't yet. He's only made 1 pit stop tonight. Everyone else has made 2. Jack Watts has made 3.
I think Jack Watts had some image.
But I don't know how Trent Drum hasn't.
It's been an exceptionally good race for just a short field.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of action down. And that's saying something. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of people confused by some Facebook posts, and obviously, out of the top 12 of running. So that does dampen some spirits. Now you're just seeing the best of the best and the guys that want to come out and improve their racing. I recommend, if our loose Lugnuts racers are out there and they're watching this race, even if they're outside of the top 12, come put down some time. Obviously, if you hit someone in the points, they're going to be ticked off at you. You got to learn to get better and improve your status in the Lugnuts and overall in iRacing. Seat time is the best time.
That is for sure. Trent Drum, and I know I've said his name a lot, but he's leading the race with 19 laps to go and not showing any signs of pitting. I don't know when he plans on it.
This is the long gamble, because those leaders would come in for fresh tires.
Yeah, and the leaders are, they're right on his tail here.
He has 1.5 seconds for those guys, and those guys are in a four-way battle, which is probably good for the 12.
He's betting everything on a caution. I mean, that's my only guess, is that he's betting literally everything on a caution. I would imagine as soon as he gets past, he's going to pit.
That's
and there it is.
Yeah, he's way too late in the pits. Maybe just rolled a strategy, obviously. Not the right one. If he can serve fuel for whatever reason and stay inside the top 8 points, or finishing spots, obviously points-wise, I think it's still a good roll for Trent Drum, probably entering towards the back of the top 12 to start this run.
Now, are there eliminations in this chase? I don't believe so.
I would hope so. I obviously labeled this round of 12, didn't I, Matt?
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering if they're running the old point style where they run all 12 to Homestead, or in this case, Michigan.
Well, that was the last few chases, right, we've had, since at least ISM's been on board. I was told when we had a meeting early at the beginning of the season that we were more towards the NASCAR format of points and running the chase. And I could be confused, and obviously Ron's the final say on the rules interpretation. So again, Ron or John, if you're out there, let us know.
Well, right now, 15 laps to go. Zach McSwain will take you to that battle, and, well, we'll keep you posted on what that 12 car decides. I'm amazed he's gotten that long on a fuel run. I really am.
If he has hit,
I don't know what he's done.
If he has to pit, he's obviously rolled the wrong strategy, and if he's waiting on a caution, it's still too late.
Yeah, he's lost the lead at this point.
Yeah, you got to clutch it if you're the 12. Now it's fuel strategy for the 12 to make it on 1-2 stops, whatever he's rolling.
Zach McSwain, I don't want to call it too early because, of course, he's got Justin Michael breathing down his neck, but he's in a good spot. But
091 has listened to us way too often.
He's been in this spot many times before. He's been in this spot many times before with this many laps left. I bet he was praying that said 3 to go instead of 13 to go.
Yeah.
I should say he was wishing.
091 is losing a ton of time to the 87. Can the 87 get around him, though?
That's the question.
87 and 83 they're faster. Technically the 83 could race the 87 a little bit harder for his teammate there, gapping some time, but Justin Michael is proving how fast
he's there.
Is.
And Randy Arms is more there. Maybe going to try and help his teammate friend out. Man, Justin Michael's right there.
Runner. Randy's a clean runner, but he's going to... obviously, teammate-wise looking, you got to run the 87 a little bit hard. There goes the 87 to the bottom, 091 up high.
We've seen that high line work. We've seen it work.
Yeah, 3 and 4, 87 through the dog leg, can't power off like he normally does.
Randy Arms is going to look to the inside there, and he's going to wind up running wide. 10 more times around, and man, is it going to be an anxiety-filled 10 laps for Zach McSwain and for, well, really anyone at that entire top 3, Randy Arms being in 3rd.
Yep, Panic joining us up here, not up here, but, in chat there. Yep, 3rd goes Randy Arms. He's technically out of the points. He dropped his points maybe not a good call early.
Yeah, I'm about to say, he's running third in the race. He could have a shot at this championship, but whatever reason, he's got his reason, and he's not in it. But look at the run Zach McSwain got there. It's about to call Justin Michaels the new race leader, and McSwain just pulled away in 1 and 2 for the moment.
Justin Michaels winning the race in 1 and 2 through the dog leg. McSwain is really working
off of 3 and 4.
Almost door contact. Yeah, off of 3 and 4. This is
and
where McSwain's shining.
He made contact with Randy Arms through 3 and 4. I want to make note of that. And look at Justin Michael fall back there.
He just cannot get the preferred line entering the turns 1 and 2.
If McSwain wins this race, it's gonna be because of 3 and 4.
Oh yeah.
If that happens, he's got 7 more laps.
If he allows Justin Michael under him, here goes Justin Michael switching sides.
Oh, Michael tags the wall.
Randy tags it more though.
And
he's gonna lose a full spot.
I think that's gonna hurt. I think that's really gonna hurt Zach McSwain, because you notice Randy Arms was keeping Zach McSwain on the high line. Or the low line, rather.
Well, he was running just as hard as the 87. Now it's a 2-truck battle rather than a 3.
Yeah, Randy Arms was a big part of that battle and really helped. And not saying Zach McSwain can't hold his own, because he definitely can, and he's proved that. But you saw it as much as I did. Randy Arms was a big factor, and I see Trent Drum down pit lane as they go across the front straightaway.
Yeah, he held out as long as possible.
I saw that 12 car.
Mark off the wall, off of turn number 2.
5 laps to go at the stripe, and Justin Michael is right there, and Zach McSwain got no help this time, and this could be bad for Zach McSwain. He needs the help.
Yeah, Panic's out there saying late race yellow, and we do have 3 green-white checkers available.
Well,
I don't think they need it. This has been a phenomenal race.
Well, you know what, Panic? I can't disagree with you. The way they're swapping it up for the lead, I was holding my breath a few laps ago when they were side by side earlier.
Good
I thought
block
we might have had
91. He uses left tires below the yellow to hold the line in 4. What a race up front.
4 laps to go. It's all coming down to it. I don't think Panic might not necessarily be wrong. I think we might see that green-white checker. I think we might see it just because, look how hard they're racing. They still have 3 whole laps to do, and they might catch lap traffic. Might being the key word.
They're going to catch. It's going to come down to the end of the race, and who gives?
3 more times around. Zach McSwain, your leader, and he is leading not by much.
You know, I won my first race in Lugnuts against the best at the time, West Holland. This is where you want to do it. You want to win your first race in Lugnuts against Justin Michael.
Oh, look, big wiggle. I'm sorry there to cut you off, but do you see that wiggle out of Zach McSwain? He practically drifted it off the corner.
And
this might be it. This might be it.
No, he's got to keep him to his inside off of 3 and 4. He's got to pinch him through 3 and 4.
Justin Michael's got the advantage. Trent Drum is going to be a factor whether he likes it or not.
Justin Michael with the
3 wide.
Good
final
91.
Final lap of the race presented by Over the Top Paints and Designs. I know it's Over the Top Designs, but forgive me. Zach McSwain has the lead going into 1.
What a move from 091 there. Zach McSwain, he's really got to hold his own. He's going to, if you're expecting a bump, now's the time to get a bump at 3 and 4.
It's going to happen. It's got to happen. Justin Michael ran it too wide. It's not going to happen. Zach McSwain coming off of turn number 4 for the final time here tonight. Bridesmaid no more. He'll go to victory lane.
87 with a good points night, as is Jeff Mark in 3rd place there, Matt. I'm going to get these guys wound up for that.
What a finish.
Yeah, go ahead and roll through those.
Randy Arms, of course, 4th place. Your 5th place driver, Mitch Reeves. Good points night for him, 5th place. Brian Abbott, Kyle Chadwick, Brandon Thornhill, Brandon Hunter Murray, Judd Danielson, Ken Richardson, Chris Voiles, Tony Romack, Kerry Cleaver, Trent Drum, Jack Watts, and Travis Browder. He'll bring up the rear of the field, but the story of the night, Zach McSwain He's finished second more times than I can count, but finally gets the monkey off his back and goes to victory lane. What a finish. We'll get Zach McSwain up here. Zach, have you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, I mean, how's that feel? That was probably one of the most exciting finishes. I know I say that a lot, but really, that was one of the most exciting finishes we've seen in a long while.
Yeah, I knew I couldn't beat him, so I was just going to, as Brandon Murray said, risk it for the biscuit. So took 2 tires and we was able to hold him off. I wasn't going to give it to him. I was going to try to hold him off. I just wanted to get a win.
Well, I'm about to say, you couldn't beat him. Well, you just did. And secondly, how about that drift coming off of 3 and 4? That amazing save. What was your reaction there? Because, I thought you about lost that truck.
Yeah, I raced dirt 95% of the time on this game, so we're okay. We're getting a little loose. But, yeah, that was wild. I knew I had a mirror full of cars behind me, so it was just trying to get it to the line.
I tell you what, man, what a win. What a great track to win at, and what a great way to win it. Anything else you want to add? Any shout-outs, just anything in general?
Yeah, just thank my team, Misfits over there, Randy, Brandon, all the guys over there for helping me out. The sponsors, Pit Pass by Katie, Bighorn Taxidermy, SRTV. Just thank y'all for broadcasting, and thank Lugnuts for putting on the league.
All right, well, thanks for talking to us. Hope to see you in victory lane a lot more, my man.
Thanks. Hopefully we can get some more. Thanks.
All right, next up on your interview block, it'll be the driver that came up in second, one of the best drivers in this league, with Jeff Wood, Justin Michael.
Yeah, Justin, hell of a show, nonetheless. Obviously, a win is better, but you gave it all. You made 091 win his first oval race in Lugnuts. He earned it, and congrats to you. I think you set yourself well up in points going into the second round of the round of 12. Probably 2+ points to the lead.
Yeah. Definitely. I think Mitchell had a bad night, and I think we were tied going in. I don't remember. He might. I know I was second, but it was a good race. We definitely made Zach work for it. I don't know how he made the 2 tires work. I tried it in practice, and it was just I couldn't control it. So good job to him. But I really wanted to win, but we'll take second. It's all about the points now for the next 5 races or however many's left.
Yeah, Phoenix is down in the trucks, so we'll keep it the topic on the trucks because, well, you're coming off some bad weeks at the Glen, Daytona. I think you were just waiting to get through those. You can confirm or deny that, but
yeah, the Glen, I had wheel problems. I had to buy a new wheel.
Yes, that's right.
So I think I missed the Xfinity altogether, and I just did stop and goes in the other, or starting parks in the other ones. Daytona just had a lot of bad luck. That's all it was. I think we finished 5th on one of the races, but bad luck. So that's all it is.
Well, you showed a mile track here at Phoenix. It's more Las Vegas style, which you won, I think, by the way. We're going into Milwaukee, paperclip more corner through that track, more flat corner at least. What's your view on Milwaukee?
Haven't raced it since like NASCAR 2002. I don't even own the track, so I'll end up buying it next week and run some laps and see what I stand. But I won't really know how it is compared to everybody else until we get into practice.
If you're listening to this, competitors, he doesn't have the track. So get your laps in now before Justin Michael figures it out.
I've only ran Indy cars there, and that was in the old Sims. But I don't think I ever ran a stock car or a truck there. I could be wrong, but it's been years.
All right. Well, that conversation will continue next week. You got the rest of this week, Xfinity, whatever you decide to run, Xfinity or Cup. I know you're on the Cup side of things, but good luck in that. Shout outs to those that you need to give.
Yeah, it's everybody out there watching. You guys for calling a good always. And I see James Lehman's in the chat out there, and he says I'm still slow, so I want him to come in here and prove that. But hope for a good weekend. We're gonna run all 3, so. We're looking to come out with points leading all of them, hopefully.
There you go. All right, we'll talk to you. Hopefully, maybe I'll talk to you Sunday or at least next week.
Thanks, man. I'll see you.
All right, last up on the interview block here tonight is none other than Jeffrey Merck. He drives beautiful ISM truck. How'd that thing run for you tonight, my man?
Yeah, she ran good. I thought I had something for these boys there with that pit strategy. You know, Zach McSwain, two-tired McSwain up there. Man, he drove the wheels off that thing for a great win tonight. His first win over here on the asphalt side. Man,
Well,
I had front row seats. That was a great race.
yeah, and I mean, hey, you still went from, I mean, you were running up there at the front there, and then you went back to fourth in that last run, and you managed to finish third. I mean, you know, a good finish. How'd that track drive? That's the question.
She was pretty loose all night on the throttle. I mean, you had to baby it off. She was pretty loose. She'd get sideways with you, especially off of 3 and coming off of 1 there. The real tight corners, it would get real loose if you got on the throttle too much. I'm happy. The only one I didn't finish in front of that I'm racing in the chase is Justin Michael. They're really good points night for me tonight. I'm just my goal was to get in the chase. I'm in the chase in all 3 series. Now my goal is to make it to the Final Four and then see what happens in Michigan. See if I can't get me a few more trophies.
All right, well, anyone you want to thank, sponsors, that kind of thing, my man?
Yeah, ASN for sponsoring this Chevy Silverado. She was fast enough to get me on the podium tonight and finish in front of all the guys I needed to finish in front of. Big Boss Man, man, I cannot talk tonight. Big Boss Man John Hendrick for the paint. Overtop Motorsports, all my teammates. SN. Support our troops. Remember, if you ever see a veteran out there wearing his old Vietnam hat or whatever, walk up, shake his hand, say thank you for your service. It means a lot to us veterans out there to do that. Racegear.com, Abruzzi Racewear, Your Wear Your Way, Scoops Old Fashioned Ice Cream, over the top paints and designs, best painter in the business. So if you need a good paint, that's the guy to go to.
All right, well, thank you for talking to us, my man. It was a great run for you here tonight. Hope to see you in Victory Lane real soon.
Thanks, Matt. Look forward to going back and watching the broadcast as always. Good job.
All right, folks, and from all of us here at the American Sim Network, we hope you enjoyed tonight's race. We'll see you all Saturday night. It is the Sim 500 Cup Series, kicking it off in style, so you ain't going to want to miss a moment of that action. Me and Jacob Young bringing you all the good fun there. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you on Saturday.